The ocean's surface erupts as a pod of orcas accelerates together. Without charging directly at their target, they turn the ocean itself into part of the hunt. Strength, speed, and intelligence come together in a remarkable strategy rarely seen in the natural world. Even a refuge that seems safe can disappear within seconds. What makes orcas some of the most formidable predators in the ocean? In the icy waters of Antarctica, a floating ice floe serves as a seal's final refuge. On the ice, the seal is almost beyond the reach of most predators. But for orcas, distance is not an obstacle. They hunt with remarkable coordination and precision. One of the orca's greatest strengths is its social intelligence and ability to work as a group. Each individual plays a role within the pod. They line up side by side and accelerate together. This technique, known as wave washing, is learned and passed down through generations and has been documented in certain orca populations in Antarctica. As the pod turns together near the edge of the ice, they push a large volume of water forward, creating a powerful wave. The wave can tilt or wash over small floating ice floes. Within seconds, what was once a safe refuge can become a trap, sending the seal back into the cold water. That moment reveals a remarkable principle of survival in the natural world. The seal does not lose its advantage because it is slower, but because its opponent turns its refuge into a weakness. The orcas do not force the target into a direct confrontation. They remove its final advantage before the hunt truly begins. Along the coast of Patagonia, shallow waters are where mother sea lions bring their young to begin learning how to swim. They choose areas close to shore because the shallow water can offer some protection from large predators. Yet even in these seemingly safe places, some orca populations have developed a specialized hunting strategy. What sets these orcas apart is not simply speed or strength, but their ability to take calculated risks. Instead of waiting for the target to swim farther offshore, they deliberately surge onto the beach using a technique known as intentional beaching. A miscalculation of just a few yards can leave an orca stranded. For that reason, every approach requires experience and precise timing. The attack unfolds in an instant. The orca slides toward the water's edge, gains control of the sea lion, and quickly uses the incoming waves to return to deeper water. Even a small mistake can leave the orca stranded and in danger. Not every orca pod knows this technique. It has been documented among certain orca family groups in Patagonia and is passed from mothers to their young through years of learning. This hunt shows that strength has never been the orca's only advantage. Its ability to learn and pass experience from one generation to the next has helped make it one of the ocean's most formidable predators. Off the coast of South Africa, great white sharks have long been regarded as symbols of power in the ocean. With highly developed senses, sudden bursts of speed, and powerful jaws, few animals cause them to act with caution. But when a pair of orcas appears, the balance of power in these waters begins to shift. What gives orcas an advantage is not only strength, but also strategy. They can strike the shark from the side, causing it to lose balance and roll onto its back. In this position, the shark can enter a temporary state of immobility, a natural physiological response that greatly reduces its ability to react. Within moments, the shark loses its usual advantage. The orcas can then selectively feed on an energy-rich part of the shark before quickly moving away. This behavior suggests that they do more than rely on strength, using selective feeding to gain a high-energy food source while limiting unnecessary effort. Studies in South Africa have documented great white sharks leaving familiar hunting areas after orcas appear, sometimes for weeks or even months. The presence of only a few orcas can influence the distribution of a predator that previously occupied a dominant position in the food web, with further effects across the coastal ecosystem. The departure of great white sharks from an area following the arrival of orcas demonstrates the significant influence these predators can have. Across the open ocean, dolphins have long been known as some of the most capable swimmers in the sea. Their speed, agility, and coordinated group movement help them escape many predators. But once they come within range of orcas, those advantages may no longer be enough to keep them safe. Orcas do not rely on speed alone. The pod quickly forms a coordinated formation, influences the target's direction, and forces it to keep accelerating. This strategy gradually drains the target's energy. If the dolphin slows down even briefly, the orcas can quickly close the distance and gain control. The leading orca dives beneath the dolphin's path and then accelerates upward from below. The powerful impact can send the dolphin above the surface. The force of the encounter can leave the target disoriented and less able to regain control when it returns to the water. Orcas do not rely solely on their jaws when hunting. They can also use their body mass to overpower a target before gaining a hold, reducing resistance while conserving energy. For some orca populations, smaller dolphins can provide an energy-rich food source. Through coordination, calculated tactics, and strength, orcas can overcome some of the ocean's fastest swimmers. In the waters around Exmouth, each migration season brings humpback whale mothers and their calves across deep waters. With her massive body, a mother humpback may seem powerful enough to protect her calf from almost any danger. But when a pod of orcas appears, the encounter is no longer simply a contest of strength, but one of intelligence, coordination, and endurance. What makes orcas so formidable is their ability to separate a mother from her calf. Once they identify a target, they quickly divide into groups. One group repeatedly moves across the mother's path to draw her attention and slow her progress, while the other moves between the pair, gradually pushing the calf beyond its mother's protection. They rely not on strength alone, but on strategy. The mother humpback responds immediately. She repeatedly sweeps her pectoral fins to keep the orcas at a distance, while trying to help her calf reach the surface to breathe and shield it from approaches below. It is not only a survival response, but also a display of persistent maternal protection. For the calf, even a short delay in reaching the surface to breathe can shift the balance in favor of the predators. The encounter shows that orcas rely not only on strength, but also on coordination, patience, and the ability to adjust their strategy to each response from their target. In the shallow waters of New Zealand, stingrays often glide quietly along the sandy bottom in search of food. With their camouflage and sharp venomous tail spines, they can make many predators keep their distance. But for orcas, this defense is not always enough. Orcas recognize the danger posed by the venomous spine. Instead of approaching the body directly, they quietly move in from behind, maintaining a safer position to limit the effectiveness of the stingray's defense. When the opportunity appears, an orca uses its tail to deliver a powerful strike, gaining control of the area near the venomous spine before the stingray can respond. A single well-timed move can completely change the course of the hunt. Once the direction of the venomous spine is controlled, the orca greatly reduces the risk of a defensive response and quickly moves closer to the target. At this point, the orca no longer needs to take the same risk from the venomous spine. The encounter shows that in the natural world, the advantage does not always belong to the animal with the most dangerous defense. Sometimes success belongs to the one that knows how to neutralize it. During the migration from the warm waters of Mexico to the cold waters of Alaska, gray whale mothers must guide their calves across hundreds of miles of ocean. The first days of life are among the most vulnerable for a gray whale calf. In the waters off Monterey Bay, orcas often wait along this migration route for an opportunity. The most formidable aspect of this hunting strategy is not speed or strength, but persistence. The orcas take turns applying pressure, forcing the mother and calf to repeatedly change direction, dive, and return to the surface. With each passing minute, the advantage gradually shifts toward the predators. For hours, the mother whale continues to defend her calf. Each powerful sweep of her tail may push several orcas back, while others quickly move closer. The pod maintains steady pressure until the pair gradually loses strength. When the calf no longer has enough energy to reach the surface regularly, the orcas make their decisive move. 2 or 3 large individuals work together to keep the calf away from a favorable position near the surface. For a young aquatic mammal, losing regular access to the surface can quickly place it at a serious disadvantage. After hours of defending her calf, the mother whale gradually loses strength. The orcas then bring the hunt to an end. Their coordination, persistence, and ability to wait for the right moment help them gain the advantage. The hunt comes to an end, but orcas do more than hunt. They also create pressure that forces many species to adapt. Their strategies show how strength can work together with coordination and careful timing. In the wild, the advantage does not belong only to the strongest, but also to those that know how to seize the right opportunity. That is one reason orcas remain among the most formidable predators in the ocean. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel to follow the next wild adventures.